welcome back to Scrapland. Today is part 2 of our naked project recipe, where we're going to take project recipe from National Scrapbook Day 2023 and work on spread 2. This is a great one to look at because if you see these two pages, both go together very well, but they also can look beautiful alone on their own. So you can make two different one-page layouts at the same time, and I call that a speed up of my scrapbooking process. In going back to our cutting instructions, it calls for 2 designer papers and 1 cardstock. But when we look at the sketch, we basically can do this with 2 designer papers or 1 designer paper and a cardstock. It's our choice. So today I decided to make this layout, but I'm going to make it 2 separate pages that will go into different albums. I will work on the left side and the right side. And I will follow the instructions, except I'm going to use the same paper to be this 4-inch band. Same paper for the background, and the same papers for this large block element, piece B and piece C. So I hope you'll find this helpful. While my first step was to choose photos, I did that, but I then found papers to go with the photos. I want to talk about this paper pack. It is a discontinued product from 2021 that I got at a crop because a Creative Memories advisor had this in her inventory, and I thought it was beautiful. To my wonderful surprise, I am using all the papers today from this one collection. I tend to mix and match a lot, but this one collection was suitable. And the point I'm making is pick your photos, then find papers that will work with your photos. And work with your photos means it doesn't clash. Because this is a discontinued paper pack, I'm just going to mention that I chose a paper to be the band, a paper to be the block, and 2 papers to be the background from the Spring Cottage collection. It's funny because Creative Memories came out with Autumn Cottage back in 2024, and it was also a very beautiful collection. So we're going to quickly be able to make this work. One of my layouts will use these 4 photos. I believe I will be able to cut 2 of them down. It calls for 2 vertical photos and 3 3x3 square photos on the left side. I'm going to have 2 vertical photos and 2 photos that are going to be probably 3 inches tall, but they are going to be wider. It's going to be 2 wider photos. So one of the points of this is that make the photos work for you. You don't have to duplicate the photos in the project recipe. My other layout calls for just 2 horizontal photos. Well, I've got 3. So I'm going to cut one of these down and make it a side element that isn't even on this layout. So my number of photos will not match the project recipe, and that is a very important point. The project recipes really are helpful to making your layouts and making them quickly, but not if you stress over trying to find the exact configuration and sizes of photos that they have. So I say don't do it. I say make your project recipe naked and then get your photos on it the way that will work for you. Okay, we are about to make our naked layout super fast. Let's look at the draft. We need to have 2 elements on each page. This block, number B, and this block, number C, this band, H, and this band, F. So we need an 8" by 6" block for each side and a 4" by 12". 4" by 12" as the band. Let's cut. This paper is our band paper, and we need 2 4" bands. This paper is not directional, so we can cut it this way or this way. I'm going to cut 4". If this paper was directional, you would want to make sure that you cut them so that they could be horizontal. And we have a leftover, which we could actually probably make a beautiful third layout. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so we have our 2 bands. Now we're going to cut our blocks. The blocks are 8" by 6". So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut our 8" piece. I recommend that you select for this sheet of paper something that is not very directional, because on this layout, this piece of paper is going to be in a vertical orientation, and on one side it'll be on a horizontal orientation. So choose your papers that can rotate and still look like you wish it to. So we have 8" here, and now we're going to cut this 8" in half, and we'll have 6". That's all of our cutting. Now that we have our papers cut, we're going to take piece B and put it on a horizontal orientation, and piece H we'll put that band there, and then piece C we're going to put on here vertically, and piece F. Okay, here is our naked project recipe. We can do so many things with this. And here is our final layout. I got embellishments from the Copper Canyon kit that I used on this side. I used the slide reel punch here. I used the Passport to Adventure clear word sticker, and I punched the compass, the anchor, with Creative Memories punches. So I've taken a project recipe, I have undressed it, and now I have a layout I'm thrilled to put into my album. Let's look at some of the changes that I made. I did not use the circles. I added extra photos. I added a journaling box and a title. I had fewer photos on this side. So this is the layout, and I really am happy with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed seeing these Unclad project recipes and would like more, please leave me a comment below. Thank you.